Hey guys, and welcome to Pixel Cherry Ninja's channel. Guys, when I was filming the footage for this video, before I was doing this voiceover and before I matched any of this up, guys, I got goosebumps, right? It's been a while since I've played this game because whenever I tried SEGA System 18 stuff on emulation, I found some titles performed better than others, but Moonwalker never quite performed right to me. That's up until now. Don't get me wrong, this is a beta release for FPGA platforms. It's currently available for the MiSTer as well as the Analogue Pocket, and the footage you're seeing here is on the Analogue Pocket because when this came out I was actually out and about, but I did have my laptop with me and I had my Analogue Pocket with me, so I got cracking. I ran the updater a few hours after this was released, and it is available via the updaters, right, whether you run it on the MiSTer or the Analogue Pocket. And I grabbed it, I played it, and guys, this is a fantastic game. The SEGA System 18 is brilliant. It's one of the systems I was waiting for a long time. I got Shadow Dancer, which was my #1 choice. Alien Storm was second, and number 3 is Moonwalker. And don't let this be an idea of maybe this is third in line for gameplay. This is a fantastic game. If you're a child of the 80s and you grew up in the 80s, you like Michael Jackson music, I'll tell you what, even if you didn't like Michael Jackson's music, I bet you heard it so much that when you play this now, you're going to feel like a kid again, and there's a good chance that you're going to shed a tear and possibly cry like a big giant baby. Now, before we kind of talk a little bit more about the game, let me tell you a little story, guys. So I had a friend when we were growing up. He was a big Michael Jackson fan. Let's just call him Colin. So Colin was a bit of a dimwit, a bit of a twat, but I liked him because, you know, we knew each other from a young age. But he was one of them guys that always did stupid stuff, and we always told him don't do it, but you know what, Colin would just do it. So he watched, was it either Moonwalker the movie, or I think it might have actually been Smooth Criminal the music video, where Michael Jackson kind of rocks up to like this bar arcade kind of thing. He gets a coin out of his pocket, he flicks it, the coin flies like, I don't know, 50 yards, 50 meters, 100 meters, I don't know, but a lengthy distance to say the least. And then it goes into the jukebox and boom, Smooth Criminal starts, everyone starts dancing, Annie, are you okay? Are you okay, Annie? You've been hit back. All right, please don't unsubscribe for that. So anyway, he saw that, and he said he's been practicing at home where he's chucking a coin and he think he can get it in the arcade machine for the Moonwalker game and do it. We told him, Colin, don't do it. It's a disaster in the making. But Colin, he never ever listened to anyone, right? And the more you told the guy not to do something, you know, when you got one of those friends, it's like, well, you're telling me not to do it, now I have to do it. Anyway, Colin went into the arcade. He kind of went in the door, and the Moonwalker arcade machine was at the very back, but there was a clear line of sight there. So what did he do? Colin was like, I'm gonna get this in the arcade machine, I'm gonna rock up, I'm gonna take my credit. So Colin at the time grabbed his I think it was a 10p piece, possibly maybe even a 20p piece, right? He grabbed it, he put it in his finger, he flicked it thinking he was like Michael Jackson. It went down there, it hit the biggest guy in the arcade, who not only took his 20p but gave Colin a big battering. So just to kind of reiterate, guys, if you get nostalgic feelings, you want to get a coin and you want to chuck it at an arcade machine, don't do it in an arcade, especially if there's a big guy there that's going to beat you up and take your coin. Anyway, let's talk more about this game. Guys, the soundtrack for this is fantastic. Like, I was playing this and I was like, yo, you're just another part of me. And then there was Beat It, and then there was Smooth Criminal. Amazing, guys. You've got to play this. Like, honestly, like, even if you've never played it, play it, right? So what is this game? It's a beat 'em up, right? Now, there was an argument amongst friends, what was the better version? Now, me being more of an arcade guy than a Mega Drive guy, I preferred the arcade version, even though the Mega Drive version of Moonwalker is completely different. It's a side scroller, it's excellent. This essentially is, I don't know how to kind of categorize it, right? Maybe it's some kind of beat 'em up. Is it a beat 'em up? It's an isometric beat 'em up. I wouldn't really call it a shooter because you have got shots, but you need to charge up your power in order to pump out those shots, right? Also, well, what's the plot? Mr. Big, is that what the guy's called? He's kidnapping all the kiddies, and MJ is out there rescuing the kiddies. And what happens when MJ sees his monkey? Well, he sees Bubbles, and Bubbles turns him into a massive robot. But what's great about this, guys, this just has MJ written all over it. There's 2 buttons that control this game. And one button is your normal attack, charge it down to kind of charge up your fire as traditionally you do in many games, right? But when you do your other button, your special, you all start dancing, man. And like from what I remember, there's two different specials. There's one where like, I don't know, there's like some kind of meteor strike, it hits everyone down, and the other one's where you kind of chuck your hat and rotate around, rotate the hats around, and it kind of hits everyone. And one thing I've noticed that when you do your special, the sound does feel a little bit off, right? But do bear in mind, guys, this is a beta. Now, Hotego releases his calls as betas to Patreon supporters so we can get involved in the testing period. You can report any faults on GitHub or even over on Hotego's Discord, so you can report them on Discord or GitHub. And once the calls are ready, right, they are available for public release. Like unrelated, but I think a couple of calls got released publicly, which was the Neo Geo Pocket core, not the color, just the Neo Geo Pocket. The color core isn't out yet, and as well as that, the JT Splatterhouse core has been made public for the MiSTer and the Analogue Pocket, and for the Analogue Pocket, Bionic Commando. So there's plenty of stuff coming up public. This is some of the newer stuff. But if you want to get involved in FPGA core development, guys, there's no better time than right now. If you want stuff like Moonwalker and you want to get involved in the testing and know that you're contributing, consider supporting Hotego over on Patreon, right? Especially if you've got an Analogue Pocket and a MiSTer, it is just great value. But guys, I'm having a blast with this game. I love the fact that when you go close to the enemies, he does like this little spinny melee attack, and it is just so, it is, I don't know, what's the right way to say it? It's so musical. It just feels MJ. It kind of rotates around and goes hee hee. So he does his little sound effects. Everything is in here, the themes are in here, guys. This is just banging. You need to try this game. So yeah, available for the Analogue Pocket, the MiSTer, and the SiDi128. That's the platforms that it supports. The main ones that I cover, I don't have a SiDi128, I have a MiSTer and an Analogue Pocket. And guys, honestly, this was fun to play. There's definitely some issues with the sound, either that or maybe the sound issues were present in hardware. I just can't think that far back, but when I do, I can't remember so much, right? Or I can't remember it being off like that, the way I kind of hear it when he does the special. So all this stuff will get resolved. But guys, that's really it. I'm definitely hyped about this, and yeah, be awesome to one another, guys. I'll see you guys around. This is Pixel Cherry Ninja out.